Tomorrow is a day to commemorate. It's not a day many Americans do, but we should. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This is Breakpoint. Since I wasn't even alive in 1968, I'll defer to boomers and historians to tell us whether the country was more divided back then or today. In my lifetime, however, I confidently say that the racial, political, economical, and ideological polarization has never been worse, nor has the violence or outrage. No matter the issue, from public policy to personal morality to global health, people seem to immediately run to ideological and political corners. No discussion, little charity, and even less concern about the requirements of a common life together. Oh, and a lot of yelling. It's difficult to imagine a people less able to accomplish a life together than us, with no shared vision, no shared memory. Tomorrow, however, offers an opportunity, one to come out of our ideological and political corners and agree to commemorate a significant day in American history. Every American, regardless of politics or background, should reflect on a day marked in many African American communities for over 150 years. Tomorrow, June 19th, is Juneteenth, the anniversary of the day in 1865 in which the particularly vicious evil of chattel slavery effectively came to an end in this country. Here's the history. In 1862, President Lincoln issued the most famous executive order in American history, known as the Emancipation Proclamation. On the first day of January, read the order, in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state in rebellion against the United States shall be thenceforward and forever free. With this order, Lincoln only declared the emancipation of slaves within the Confederacy. Pro-Union border states and even areas in the South controlled by Union troops were not in rebellion against the United States. So practically speaking, the Emancipation Proclamation was more symbolic than it was effective. The surrender of Confederate General Robert E. Lee at Appomattox in April of 1865 signaled the end of the Confederacy and foresaw the final end of slavery. Even then, however, pockets of resistance persisted. Emancipation would have to be enforced. On June 19, 1865, more than 2,000 federal soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, and with them Major General Gordon Granger. Granger's men marched through Galveston reading General Order No. 3, which informed the people of Texas that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. It's a moment worthy of commemorating. In fact, African Americans in Texas began commemorating Juneteenth the very next year, 1866. And as African Americans migrated north and west, they took the commemoration with them. Even today, though officially recognized in hundreds of cities and in 47 out of 50 states, Juneteenth remains largely an African American celebration. Well, it shouldn't. Juneteenth was the culmination of the efforts of men and women across race and social standing. That may not have put an end to the racial struggle, but it did put an end to a particularly shameful practice that was on our shores. Last year, my Colson Center colleague Tim Padgett wrote an outstanding column on Juneteenth at Breakpoint.org. In it, he described how American abolitionists were driven by their understanding that the realities of American slavery were irreconcilable to their Christian beliefs about the dignity of humanity and with their American dreams about the centrality of liberty. They saw that the slave was made in the image of God as much as anyone else, and therefore is deserving of honor as themselves. Juneteenth 1865 is an important event in our national timeline, an attempt to live up to what Chuck Colson liked to call our American creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Even now, we've not yet lived up to that creed. We still have a long way to go. Perhaps remembering Juneteenth together could remind us of the type of nation we say we are and compel us to keep trying to be that kind of nation. For Breakpoint, I'm John Stonestreet.